Facebook Nation. Good morning to all people, all colors, all races, all languages around the world, men, women, children, no matter where you are on the face of this earth. May you have the most beautiful day, have an awesome day. Whatever goals that you have set forth for yourself on this day, may those goals come to fruition. So today we're going to start out and we're going to get right into it. This is the final piece, which is The Fallen Ones, part 6. In parentheses, it says past, present, and future. So what I want to speak about is let me first say, part 4 is not listed as part 4, but part 4 is religion. So go back to the last 7 videos that I've done. So all those are from 1 to 6. So even though number 4 is not listed, it's religion. And there's only one place where I talk straightly about religion. So that's part 4. Just in case you're wondering, why didn't I put he did 1 through 6, but he never put part 4 for part 4. And that was done intentionally and on purpose because it's all a part of fallen ones. So, and that's for people who follow and understand this light and how it works. So it's not really for everyone. So it's not listed that way. The reason I waited so long to do this part 6 is not because I can come on and just say things. I don't say things just to say things. And as far as telling people what's going on in the world, that's not going to happen anymore. So part 6 finalizes it. If you go back into my playlist, you go back to all the different topics, I talk about everything and how everything is manipulated, brainwashing, just the way that this world operates, as well as how these religions came to be. So, and I also talk about political powers worldwide and how this is all part of the same fallen program. So the reason for that I waited till today was, I had got a phone call and it was from my best friend. And my best friend, as long as I've known him, when he's upset about something, I kind of will know it, but it's never a thing where he would just come and just to vent. There's always something behind it, something personal. So, pretty much he's the same, just like I am, and as far as people that I'm around, we're pretty much the same. We care about all of humanity, and we understand the games that are being played against us. And, one of the things that had gotten under his skin was a woman who was tailgating him, intentionally tailgating him. And we're seeing this all too often. We're seeing it all around the world. Hold on one second. We're seeing it all happen all around the country. Also, a blister that came from the sun. I work out in the mornings, and it was actually cool out this morning. And I got home. I thought I had like a pimple there, and I'm like sitting there like tapping on it, trying to see if if it is a pimple, but it was itching. I didn't know if it was a pimple or poison ivy. So I didn't want to pop it or anything like that. And then the next thing I knew, I went like this, and it was wet. It was a blister, just literally from the heat. And then right where my glasses are, so you got that black which attracts the sun, and right there it just started to bake. But now you're seeing, get used to it. You think I'm the only one that this is going to happen to? No, and it's sorry to say, but go back into my playlist. I said that these things were going to break records and shatter records. So this is why when the conversation came about the road rage, where the woman got behind him and waited until she can pass him out, and then passes him out just to pull into the bank in front of him. But on doing so, she bing, gives him the finger and says something, mouths something at the same time she's giving him the finger. And these are the things that we're seeing all too often, and we're seeing it done with people. So now, you say to yourself, why would you make a video if someone came to you with something like this? And it's because even with my best friend, he's known all his life. I've always told him these things that were, happening and taking place. And, he would always agree to disagree. But that was one of the things that he didn't think was going to happen, that people were going to get to the point where they were just, didn't matter who they were, whether that you can, go up to them if it's a man and you can literally physically handle the situation, from if it was a man that was doing something like that. And even nowadays you can't. But 2 days ago, another one of my best friends, and he's my best friend in this area where I live, because I don't live where I used to live. So, I'm cities away. And so, he was telling me, he's a little older than me, and, he goes to, this club that they have, for It's like, you know how they have Polish club, Italian clubs, they have the Elks clubs, Lions clubs, all these different clubs. Well, he happens to go to one of those clubs, and you know, he's been a member, you know, ever since he came to here to the United States, which was back in the 70s. So, you know, he goes there, and he usually leaves around 10 o'clock. So on this night, he goes there, they're playing cards, he leaves. He's not a drinker, so, you know, he just goes there to socialize. And he's on his way home, and the car actually follows him, cuts him off and follows him for a short distance. But it was a short enough distance to let him know that this guy was following him. And, you know, one of the warnings that I said to him earlier in the year, I was saying to him how these things were going to be, and no matter who it is, swallow your pride. And this is what I'm telling all of you: swallow your pride. Even though you know you can, you know, handle. If you're a woman and another woman is doing this to you, and you know you can handle the situation, say, you know what? If this is the way you feel, then come and show me. These are the things that you don't want to do, because these people are armed, and whether we want to accept it or not, over the past 4 years, have been given the permission to do whatever they want, whatever, do as thou wilt. And again, when the pandemic hit, that's when the floodgates were open. It stopped everything so that people could reflect on their lives and say, hey, look, you know, let's look back at the past, let's try to, you know, correct some of these mistakes. But that's not what happened. So what's happening is once there was a cure, now there's monkeypox, you know, and you know, so forth and so on. You know, and for most of you out there who are vaccinated, you know, for me, it's different, because I know that these things aren't going to happen to me, you know, and if they do happen, then that's just a calling that I just have to make. But I strongly believe that I'm here for a purpose, and I believe that, you know, even through, you know, living lives and times where I've actually attempted to take my life, and to attempt to take your life, it's not because you don't want to live and you just want to give up. That's not it. My thing was always and has been that I wanted to go before God. I always had this vision of that movie Troy, where or the 300, where, you know, the soldier is running with the spirit, he catapults off another one. Just, he knows he's going to lose his life. He knows there's no win, but it's just like, you know, I'm going to get you. And I always felt that way about the Most High, that, you know, I just wanted to go, and I wanted to go at him, you know, for not only what he's done in my life, but what he's done to my family and everything else. And I keep saying he, because I always grew up thinking that he was a he, and it wasn't until, you know, I attained light to realize that a spirit is neither he nor she. It's a spirit. So, you know, we just give these titles of he and she. Again, this is from the fallen ones. This is why they want us to believe that, you know, the Almighty is a man, because they're in a masculine form, even though that they're spiritual. So I know that that's hard to kind of grasp, so we take the Most High. The Most High has to be a combination of male and female, because from the Most High sprang life, sprang all of existence, which sprang the High Council. So, you know, to get back to, you know, just the way that the world is changing. The world is changing, and those floodgates have been opened. They're not going to be shut. This right now is the beginning. So what my message is we have an obligation. We have to walk away from these fallen ones, because when judgment comes, part of that judgment is to say, I'm going to give an example of this. You have two men, right? Two men, man A, man B. So man A is, you know, just a greedy, jealous, manipulating, devious, just, you know, just has no respect for anyone outside of himself. Doesn't mind who he hurts, doesn't mind how many people, you know, if they lose their jobs over a decision he makes, you know, he just doesn't care, as long as they don't mess with his wallet. Now person B is a friend to this person. And even though person B probably never really did anything in his life to really warrant, you know, being penalized, yeah, there is. That's the association. So we have to remove ourselves from, you know, these people who are harming other people, people who are manipulating other people, people who have taken on the characteristics of the fallen ones. So by taking on the characteristics of these fallen ones, this is why we see these wars. This is why we see privilege being used as a slave tool. But even those with privilege are still enslaved to the fallen ones. And, you know, the things that they have to do are far worse than the average everyday people. You know, they require a lot more from them. And there's a lot more rituals being done on their part, real rituals, as well as rituals in religion. Because when you know, whenever you're doing an act of worship, it's a ritual. It's a ritual. And the Most High doesn't need anyone to you know, worship. this spirit, this entity of the all, that they don't need it. And the reason is because they created things that we can't even begin to see. This is nothing compared to what the all has created. Nothing, no comparison. This is only one dimension of one universe, which consists of numerous universes, multi universes with multi things, creations of life. So you think that the Most High is sitting back saying, "Oh, why won't they worship me?" No, it's these fallen ones, the fallen ones who we all know who are around us. These fallen ones who say it's okay to kill. These fallen ones who they take these 10 commandments and they have broken every last one. And at the end of the day, like that lady driving in that car, if a policeman came, the first thing she's gonna say is she's a Christian. And the first thing that man A is gonna say, if they come into and say, hey, you embezzled X amount of dollars from this company, we need to take you in. The first thing he's gonna say on the stand is, I'm a Christian. And religious people who aren't even religious, will say, oh well, this is my faith, and my faith. The law department, political systems, these governments worldwide, they know all this stuff is a lie. The only ones that don't know it is the ones out here doing it. This is why they manipulate the masses. So, not only that they set up a counterfeit kingdom, they put in these counterfeit representations of who is going to, lord over the people. So, these people are willing to sell their souls because they don't want to live like the common people. So, to wake you up and say what our obligation is we have to have love. And love has to be the key to everything. Love has to be the answer for everything. It's not, and when I speak love is not the love where you sit back and say, hey, I love everybody. No, it's to give people benefit of doubt, but to be smart enough to know that, hey, this is a game, I don't want to play this game, stay to yourself. But now we're living in a world where once you walk away from situations like that, people get mad, or if people try to manipulate you, or, tries to cause you harm, and then you figure it out, these people will still come after you. That's sadistic, and that's sadist. And again, they'll sit back and say, oh, I'm the most religious person. No, you're not. The most religious people are out there killing people. The most neighborly people that sit back and say, hey, I'm a Christian, and this and that, and then they get caught with child pornography, or they're caught with underage women. And on women's side, it's the same way, underage men. We just saw Jesse Lee Peterson, who sat back and spoke out against all, said that slavery should still exist and all this other stuff, and had all this, homophobic rants that he was doing and teaching men that this ain't the way. But come to find out that this man was actually using his position and his program to lure in men who are down and out. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? And then we got all these mass shootings. They're not stopping, they're continuous. But the reason I say that this is the fallen ones and this is part 6 and this is the final, past, present, and future, is because ever since 2020, I think I began on August 9th, go back to my videos and rewatch them, because everything that I said back then ties in where I'm ending at with that phone call. And the one thing that I did not say to my best friend was, I tried to tell you this, over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, about how these things were going to get ready to take place. And you didn't want to believe me. And now, the situation put itself right in front of you. Things that you didn't think were going to happen, now they're happening. He expected something like that from a man, but not from a woman. And again, everybody out here is carrying weapons, so they've been given the right to do what they're doing, and we can't stop it. Even if they pass laws, you can't stop it. This is something that's coming from the Most High. This is not something for man. So, lastly, I want to say, to my queen, being in the homeland and wanting wanting to build up the homeland. The homeland will be rebuilt because it was given to all of us. And I want to explain this of why I reach out to people from all different nationalities. And this is based on fact. Every person on the face of this earth has African DNA in them. All again. So we have to realize that these people are us. They've just been genetically manipulated, genetically altered to serve, just like all of us, to take on these false gods and these false kingdoms and sit back and, be enslaved to them and kill one another for them. But when they genetically modified us, we were all one race. We were all African. So as long as there's 2%, 1%, a 10% of African in a person, that person has to have we also have to go and seek them out to bring them. Because, like I say, I have friends from all different nationalities, and none of them see color. None of them have ever used privilege as over any situation. In fact, I did a video a while back where, you know, I was in a car, we had just came from a club, and it was two black people and one white guy. And, you know, when the police, I was sitting in the front, and they just snatched me out. You know how things go. And, well, if you don't know, all you got to do is watch TV. You know, these are regular happenstances, even back when we were younger. And this was a time when I was younger. And they pulled me out, and then they just started fighting. They didn't even care about, you know, why they stopped us. It was just like, oh, we're gonna, you know, mess somebody up in this car, and we, you know, whoever says something first, that's what we're going after. But the first thing they did when they realized that the driver was, you know, Caucasian, they asked me for my ID. Think about that one. So this is why we know we're targeted. You know, and again, all this stuff is coming to an end because, you know, the beginning of the end is here. It's here now, especially with all the heat and the storms that are on their way. It's things that we've never seen before. Even though I said last year those records would be shattered. So even last year, they were shattered. And all these were before these things were actually happening. And it's not to say that, you know, I'm psychic or, you know, telepathic or anything in that manner. What I am is I'm awake. And by being awake, it was something that I've gone through throughout my whole life, you know, understanding that, you know, this is all like been one big lie. So, you know, by constantly seeking the truth, then previous lives are revealed. Knowledge is revealed. Knowledge that, you know, most people can't even begin to handle because most people can't even handle what I'm saying now. But then again, when they're seeing it play out in their own lives, they won't sit back and say, you know, let me find out some more what this guy is saying. You know, he said this about this and a while back, and it's playing out right in front of my face. So, you know, this is another thing that we do. We fear things like that. We fear everything because this is what these fallen kingdoms and what these fallen principalities have put before, a fear for you to get to the Most High. Remember, they set up a counterfeit kingdom. So your prayers are only going here. And very little of that prayer is drifting up towards the Most High. This is how their counterfeit kingdom is set up. So is above, so below. They are below, and the Most High is above. And then we're underneath them. So, you know, be prepared for what it is that you're going to see. Be prepared. You know, a lot of things that, you know, we didn't believe. You know, and to get, you know, with some of the things that are going on out here. You know, we have to realize that, you know, these people are in power. So you're not going to change anything when these people have sold their souls to serve these fallen ones. They're not serving you. And this is why everything continues to go up and go up and go up. But yet and still, none of these politicians, none of these leaders are sitting back saying, you know what, let's just all stop what we're doing. Until they figure this out, let's just stop. No. Because each one of us individually are enslaved by these fallen ones. And until we wake up, all this stuff is going to keep getting worse. So, you know, again, to my point, I understand. And what we have, what is established in the motherland will be established worldwide. Because this is how it was before these fallen ones has come. So I just want to say to everyone, be the best person that you can be. And when it comes to crowds, be very, very observant. And remember, we don't have to be up underneath everybody. You know, and this validation thing, I don't know how all this stuff came to be. You know, but then again, I do. Especially, you know, when you don't care about, I don't care what other people think about me. But I know a lot of people out there do. And, you know, you have to say to yourself, what should it matter what the next person thinks about you? Why should it matter? You know, you're important. So if we can literally give ourselves away to other people's opinion, then we've given ourselves to these fallen ones. I have. And hopefully, you know, most of us are going to wake up and do, you know, realize it too. You know, and stand and say, you know what? I'm not or either or. I'm for what's right for all people. So you understand, I'm not right, I'm not left. And if anyone that looks me up will see that I've been an independent all my life. An independent. Not a Republican, not a Democrat, not in between, not nothing. I'm for what's right for all people. And this would stop a lot of the corporations. This would stop a lot of the wealthy getting all these different types of breaks and everything else like that. It would stop it. It would stop it. Because once you cling to a party, then you have to go with every lie and every deception and every manipulation that party has dealt. And no party is innocent. They are both and all are corrupt because we're under a counterfeit kingdom. I said enough, but that's part 6. Past, present, and future. Go back to the playlist. On all the playlists, you'll see that the videos that I've done, they talk about things that are happening now, back then, and why they're going to take place. So, you know, I'm not the type of person to keep coming on videos just to say the same things over and over and over. And I'm not going to do that. So, you know, just every periodically, come check out my videos. If you know, stumble upon something and you got a question in life, go back and check out a video. Every once in a while, I'll put out something, new, but more or less I really don't want to bring bad news to people. So it's all about love. So from here on out, this is what my videos will encompass. Everything that I've said about what we're going through, I'm not going to carry it on. I said it before, I said it in the past. So these things are happening now. So the only thing that we have left is I've said everything that the Most High and the Most High Council has bestowed upon me to bring out here to you. I've said it, I've done my part, I've fulfilled my purpose. Now my purpose from here on out is to take account and accountability, just to watch and to feel these vibrations that are constantly coming and, flowing through me. And, it's what's happening in this world. So, as well as viewing what's going on in the world, taking account to how these things and what these things have done, what the effects have been on people, and, that's it. I don't say what their penalty should be or anything else like that. I'm only here to let the High Council know this is what was done, this is what I experienced, this is what, this is the effects of what was taking place, this is how they were doing it, and how it was affecting the people, and how people were affected by it, but were unwilling to walk away from it. These are things that even the Most High can't understand, because He instilled in us the ability of love. And how many of us are actually using it? Most of us have put a price tag on it. So, try to love. Love is free. Love is unconditional. Not to say that we have to be soft towards people and let people run over us. No, be smart and be wise and understand that, hey, if I'm treating you in this way and you treat me differently, I have every right to walk away. And utilize that. And don't be like person A and person B, where person B is saying before the Most High, saying, hey, look, I was a good person, I never broke the law, I never did this, and the Most High says, well, wait a minute, you were really good friends with this person was doing some really, really bad things that you knew about. Oh yeah, but that wasn't me. Guilty by association. So your penalty might not be as harsh as person A, but person B will be, again, we cycle right back into that same situation, again and again, and it's what we've been doing in this universe. We've been recycling it over and over and over for millions of years. This is why we don't go underneath the sea. But I want to let everybody go. I want to let everyone, absorb some of this and go back into the playlist, check things out. And like I said, I wish everybody the best. But, my purpose is to go out and speak to people on that one-on-one basis to get dialogue so that they can walk away with something and, go and share it with someone else. And this is the way change is done. So with this, I've said everything that I can possibly say. So I have to go out there to speak to those who don't have the, don't have the knowledge to, find something like that. I have to go out there and, speak to those people on my own. And these are things that I am doing and have been doing. So everyone have a beautiful day. Have an awesome day. Welcome to my condo. Right now, I'm just in a good space, even though with everything that's negative around, and that's the comfort that I feel, because I'm walking with the Most High, and I'm walking with the High Council behind me, and I'm walking with my forefathers behind me as well. We're all walking together, and we see the world together. And with that, everyone have a most beautiful day, have an awesome day, be the best person that you can be, men, women, and children. With that, everyone, peace and blessings.